Guys, Deluded Guna, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Sunday equals Q&A days. Thank you very much for the questions, man. As you can see, you lot always receive me very well. Come hard with the questions and shit. Pardon my language. Of course, the printer doesn't want to let me see a couple of the names, but we've got some interesting questions, man. Enough waffling. Let's crack on, man. Get in the comments with some more. Let's keep this thing going. 1 second, guys. That's nice, man. That apple juice good. Need some more. Alright, cool. Let's crack on. Let's start with at the top. Some of the names are missing, so somebody asked, shout out to you, whoever asked this, opinion on James Maddison. Now, I'm assuming you're talking about the Norwich boy that used to play for Coventry. Arsenal allegedly were watching him. He's doing his thing for Norwich this year. Very techie player, for Coventry, doing his thing for Norwich, former Coventry boy. He's very techie, man, very technical base. I got a lot of time for him, man. Hopefully he kicks on and does his thing. Next question. Bello asks is, if we hopefully encounter Atletico Madrid in the finals, even better if they get knocked out in brackets, where can you see Atletico's weak areas when they're playing in the 4-4-2 formation? I think it's in their right-back position with Guanfran there. He's getting on a bit and still has experience, or we might have to cancel out each other, whoever is controlling the park. To be honest with you, that's a good question, and I don't want to do you a disservice and just answer off the spot. That's a good question. I'm trying to, as you said that immediately, flashbacks of the way Atletico Madrid play was as well. What was it? Last game they played, I'm pretty sure it was in Europe, Griezmann scored. Images of him dropping deep. So I'd say first and foremost, you got to find a way of shutting him out, shutting the areas out. I think you got the right idea. I wouldn't necessarily say Guanfran, but I'd say you got the right idea. Pressing their back four, try and nullify that. Try and Oblak's very good with his feet. Try and cut out the options from them, and then if we do that, it just becomes, like you said, a case of cancelling each other out and fighting for it in the middle. Honestly, they will beat us if it comes down to a fight and nitty and gritty. Let's be serious. Simeone's men will win. They're not really as well organised and as well drilled of recent years. They're still a good side like that, but I do think we overgas myself included, Simeone a bit. So we probably need Ramsey to run in behind and things. But I do think mainly in that game, if we were to encounter them, it comes down to literally finishing off your chances, because they give chances away, but they're committed, man. They fight for each other. Good question, man. For my own humour, I'm gonna go and look at that, man. That's a good question, Bello. Shout out to you, man. Next question, RP145 asks, keep them coming, DG. Have you thought about a Patreon page? Hopefully I've said that right. I'm assuming you're talking about where you donate money and that, and things like that, or I don't know how them things work, and I've been taught never to beg money and that. But if you guys want that, tell me to do it in it and just point me in the right direction, and we'll see what we can do. Yeah, man. I mean, now that you say that, I think about it, I guess it could be decent when you factor in through this page, assuming it is the donating thing, scope for growth and things like that. But yeah, man, good question. That's definitely something I should think about. DMN9 asks, do you have any phobias? Phobias. I wouldn't necessarily say phobias, but I don't like mice. So when I see them on the underground, I'm ready to do dashing. I really don't like mice, like proper. I'm scared of mice, to be honest with you. I wouldn't say I'm scared of heights, but how can I put it? I'm not scared of heights, but have you ever been in a mad building and you look outside and you look at the building and you start feeling uneasy? There's that. I wouldn't say I'm a germaphobe, but I don't like getting ill in it. So I'm that snob on the underground. I use my I'll roll up my sleeve and I'll be holding it with my sleeve. I don't like touching these things and that. So that's probably them, to be honest. And pardon me, you've also asked me, why don't you like Zaha? Stop false news, man. We live in a time of false news. Who said I don't like Zaha? If it's just, Zaha's a good player, I would take him. But if I'm saying that he's the winger I want at Arsenal, the one that's going to score them goals and do all these things, I can't lie to you guys. Like, a big thing of what I do away from, I actually like him a lot, but do I necessarily think he'd be the best candidate for what I'm asking for at Arsenal? No. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. I can't let and I am guilty of it, my love for players cloud making the correct decision, or what I deem is a correct decision. So shout out to you for the questions as well, DMN9, man. Jador Wenger says, thoughts on Bayern Munich pulling out of the... What? Your thing's messed up there. Did you say... Thoughts on Bayern Munich pulling out of the Malcolm race? The writing's all messed up on the printed thing. But I think that's what you said. If you didn't say that, forgive me. But if they really have pulled out of the race for Malcolm, then we gotta go confirm that. You know already I want Malcolm and a direct winger. Please, man, that's a sign from God. God gave us a chance in January. God really gives 2 chances. He gave us a second chance. We ain't getting a third, so go and confirm that. So that's a good question, man. I hope that's true, man. I wonder where you found that out. I haven't seen that. Good on you, man. RP15 again. Hey, DG, I think you missed my question, so here it is again. In the interview with Gary Neville, DT said something about the fans having some say in the decision to fire managers. Do you think clubs should give the fans more power and more of a say in running the club? And how do you think this could be done? Personally, I think this would lead to the football returning, at least in a point, more to the fans, and could lead to more money towards in areas where needed. First and foremost, no. I do believe if you're asking me, I do believe there's a space for a certain fan group of, I don't want to say of knowledgeable people that are not reactionary and actually know what they're talking about, to voice concerns, and the club are open and they meet us halfway. But I don't necessarily, and in fact on top of that, maybe a stake in the club was that, but I don't necessarily feel confident in saying that fans should control decisions or have a proper say in decisions. For one, we don't own the club. If I own the club, I'm sorry, but I'm not listening to fans. I will listen to fans, but they can't tell me what to and don't do to a degree. And we do have some reactionary fans. I know there's a special sort of Arsenal fans that you guys know about. You're seeing all these other fans of other clubs. Would you really want to put these people in power when there's a difference between legit comments and legit areas of improvement and just being reactionary? I do think there's a scope for it. I don't have the answers in that, but I do believe there's a scope for it. Like, I'm so sure some of the Spanish clubs and that the fans have a greater say, because I'm pretty sure some even own a stake in the club. There's definitely fan and club relations can definitely improve, but I wouldn't say a direct decision in certain aspects wouldn't necessarily be good. So hopefully that answers your other question, man. Not really sure I'd make more money either, but if you're saying it will, I'm gonna back you. Big Zo14 asks, is Willian not world class? Question mark. If you're asking me if I said Willian's not world class, you're asking me if he is. Well, Willian's not world class. Come on now, Willian is not world class. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. He's not world class. Like, shout. Anyways, man. Next question. Leon Mike asks, bro, what's your opinion on Maitland-Niles' mum living in a storage box? I've purposely stayed away from this, bro, and sorry, but I'm not going to answer this. It's a very personal, touchy subject between what's ever going on between himself and his mother. If I was a footballer, and I wouldn't have that, but if I had these sort of problems with a family member, I wouldn't want everybody chipping in. And I don't know all the facts. I only know what the papers are saying. I only know what allegedly she's coming out and saying in the videos. I haven't heard Maitland-Niles' story. This family thing is sensitive, and footballers, they barely get a piece of things to themselves, and we can do a bit more than just comment on his families, because no one's family or no one is perfect and things like that. Hopefully whatever it is, I will say this though, whatever it is, whoever's in the right, whoever's in the wrong, whoever's not in the right or in the wrong, I hope they get it together, because you only get one mother in this world, and Maitland-Niles is still the mother's son, so there's a special bond there, and I forgive me, I don't want to sound extreme, but if one of them was to drop dead tomorrow, I'm pretty sure whatever they're arguing about without knowing it wouldn't matter. So hopefully they improve their relations, but that's all I'm going to say on that personally myself. Tully asks, doesn't Seri have a problem with ears in the cold weather or something? I think I know what you're talking about. I think I saw that myself. He's got a problem with his ingrown toenails or something, and in the winter months it gets tough. But it's true, but come on, man. For me, them things there are minor. If you really want to sign a player, or if you really want to, like, if I'm honest, and we were to say to him, if Arsenal, United, City, all of these clubs offer, and bigger clubs and things like that offered him it, anyone in the top 6, I don't think man are gonna really act, to be honest, because it's a chance to join the Premier League, improve your wages, stronger club than Nice. Well, Nice in the champs and we're not, or at least they were, I believe. But you get what I mean. Next question asks DMN9, this guy's just popping out of the cuts all the time, man. Shout out to you. If you're a professional footballer at Arsenal at the moment and a big club came in for you, like what happened with Cesc Fabregas, Van Persie, etc., would you go or stay because you're an actual fan? If you're talking, what period, man? It depends. If you're talking from anytime from 06, like specific year, I would have left time ago. I'm not going to lie, man. I love my club. I would have stayed for time. I won't force the issue, but... And I love Arsenal, and I would love to... No one would love to want to win the league more than me in champs and be Mr. Arsenal, similar to Jack Wilshere. But at the same time, a footballer's career is short. And if I was in certain positions like Cesc and Barcelona were coming for me, or Man United, Sir Alex Ferguson offering me the chance to win the league title, I know it's not going to work out for Alexis Sanchez, but if I was in that sense, but if I was Alexis Sanchez and when he was going to City, it looked like he was going to City, I would have jumped ship time ago. I can't lie, it would have been a heavy heart. But you're a professional footballer. You're different. The chance to win and improve and all of these things, I don't see it at Arsenal collectively. I love Wenger, so I would want to play with for Wenger to a degree, and it would break my heart to leave him. But at the end of the day, I would have to, like Van Persie just said, I'd have to look at the context is and where the clubs are going. And if I was to be honest, and you put me in that shoe right now, and I believe if Arsenal's the place to be for the future and winning the league and these things, the honest question is no. Or to basically improve as a player, the honest answer to that question is no. So I'd consider my future. I'd never disrespect the club and force to move. In fact, let me not lie, until I've been in that position, I might force a move. But yeah, man, I'm a bit of a see you next Tuesday like that. But yeah, man, hopefully that answers your question. That's a good question. Ryan asks his opinion on postcode beef. Well, it's like, obviously I'm no idiot. It's deeper than just fighting over a postcode. There's many different variables, but essentially you're dying for a postcode you don't own. You're riding out and all this nonsense for a postcode you don't own. We know it's a brotherhood. It's away from the postcode, but it's nonsense, man, and people don't realise before it's too late. Before you got a life sentence and you can't meet no girl. Your boys ain't sending you a tenner to the point where you got no money. You can't even buy things like a nail clippers or a flannel to wash your face or some toilet paper to wipe your ass. This is how real it gets. You're not gonna get no letters. You're gonna be turning mad. Some people, these guys that are rated on for all this bad boy stuff, they're in their cells crying because they got 30 years. There's no girls. All them man them are living. Their girl that they left on the outside is probably getting beat out by his boy and all these things. But people don't realise until it's too late. It's nonsense, man, and people don't like to live their truths too much. You've got guys on the roads, and it's nothing mad about being on the roads, because the real road man understand there's nothing there to be done. There's nothing to be done there, but there's people there sitting in a cell riding life sentence because they were doing stuff they're not built for. They weren't living their truth. They were trying to get some ratings. And for what? Live your truth. Like, nobody's, like, being a bad boy is overrated. Like, being a real bad boy is doing what the hell you want. Like me with these YouTube vids now, I'm guessing. But it's a waste man thing for real, bro. And I don't know what can be done to stop it. It's just life that we're living out, unfortunately. So you just got to get on with it. Positive Guna asks is on a brighter note than that. Sorry for going depressing in the last answer, but how does Wenger still being here affect Kroenke's money? Well, if he continues not to get in the Champions League, you're not going to get the Champions League cash, and that the TV. I know clubs don't really need the Champions League money as in Premier League as much as in regards to signing transfers and things like that as much as in the past, but it's still money away from that. It's money at the end of the day, commercial opportunities that come with qualifying for the Champions League. He's going to lose out in that aspect. If we carry on qualifying doing this, the money that we're missing out in certain other aspects as a result of not getting the Champions League, whether that's Cat A matches, the highest ticket prices and stuff, these things over a couple of years will start to show, to be honest with you. And maybe it might get to the point where people stop renewing their season tickets at Arsenal. There'll always be another sucker to buy it, but if it got to that stage, he'd lose money, and then you losing money, he's in this for money, so I don't need to explain that further to you. But that's a good question, man, and I rate that, man. Hopefully I've answered that. DMN9 again, this guy. How did you know / join your football league Sunday league team? Well, for me, Everton All Stars, all my boys in primary school played for it. I played football in the playground and that. All my boys were playing there. Said to my mum I want to join. She said find out where they train. They train at at the time we trained at Alwood School. That's in, if any of you, I don't even know if it's called Alwood anymore. On Silver Street, basically in North London. Went there, tried out, said come back and that. Just kept coming back, man, and a lot of the people I played football with there I still talk to now and things like that. So that's the way it started, man. That's the way I found out about it, man. And it's a small world, and especially when you come from a West Indian community, and that when you see that the coaches know your family and things like that, it's very easy to fall into these things. There was the team I actually joined, but before that I trained at Broadwater Farm for a minute. Again, similar circumstances. You had friends there and things. Emin All-Stars was a bit closer and had more friends there, and I wanted to sign there, but Broadwater Farm were a bit more competitive, and they used to beat us up on a regular basis when we used to play football, man. They used to get some mad scorelines there. I've seen, when you see the flats and the pitches, I've seen many man soul leave them before we kicked the football, and that's why I can tell you about fear plays a big part in playing a football match. But yeah, that was it, man. Usernames are not being printed, so I apologize, but someone's asked me, why don't you like Iwobi? More fake news, man. Google and YouTube need to crack down on this. I love Iwobi. I just don't love the not improvement and the mediocrity. And if you're not playing well, you guys know me. If you're playing well and you're doing your thing, I'll praise you, whether I like you or not. Like, even though I like Iwobi, and if you're playing dead, I'm gonna call it out. Like, I want the best for my club and I want the best for the players. I've told you before, I think Iwobi can be a central midfield player and inside and that, because he doesn't show a willingness to take on his man. If you're asking me how would I improve him, which you said, how would you make him a better player? Immediately goals and assists, so he has to improve his striking. He doesn't strike the ball properly with any conviction. You look at Sterling had that problem and he's improved a bit. He's still got that, but he's improved a bit, so he's got to improve in that aspect. He's finishing. I think Iwobi needs to be more confident as well, to be honest with you. He's very much a confidence player, and to be honest, whether he's playing good or not, we need to remember he's still a young player. Sometimes I see when he's playing well and excited, he's trying things, he's taking man on, he's linking up and things like that. When he's playing bad, he's shying. So I'd say for me, it's really goals and assists and productivity in the final third, striking with conviction, seeing the pass and not getting caught up into minds. I'd say concentration. He's improved in tracking his man and doing the dirty work for his fullback as well, but he needs to improve in that. I would say goals and assists is probably the main thing. He's good at recycling and retaining possession, but be a bit more braver in possession as well. But mainly just goals and assists. Like, ultimately, to be honest, that's the next step for him. I got time for Iwobi, and I'm actually upset people think I hate him. And you've also got, who would you pick as the next Arsenal gaffer at this moment? Allegri, because I've been banging out the Netflix thing, but there's Jardim, there's Sari, I can't say his name, Napoli Don. I'm actually starting to lean towards the Leipzig boss and the other young manager that was managing Hoffenheim. These sort of random choices. I would love Jurgi Low because we've got a strong contingent of German players. Mertesaker's going to be in the academy after that. Next year we've got Millerstadt already behind the scenes. We can really set up. We've got couple coaches and these things that are German, so we can really do some German efficiency thing and really move mad in that aspect a bit. Not like Bayern Munich, but you see how Bayern Munich, they make decisions quickly, whether it's the manager, whether it's signing players, it's quick things. It's if man are going out, man are coming in, if this is happening, that is happening, and there's a group of people similar to that. That's what I admire, that German efficiency, man. That's what I really want to bring into the club. So yeah. Oh, you've got another question. Who should I put in my FPL team? I need points, bro. People, I can't lie to you, I'm gonna snake it, because people in my league, I'm 7th. I'm eyeing up. I'm 5 points behind the top 4. Some people watch my vids, and it's got to the point we snake each other and don't look at players. Don't tell each other players. But I'd say you gotta get Amares in your team. Rondon's team might be playing dead, but he's been getting a goal. He got a goal and an assist. He's probably going to do the same today, and I believe he's playing right now at 3 o'clock. So I'd probably say them two there, man. I can't bring you on any others, man. Guys, Deluded Goon, it's been a fantastic Q&A. I've loved the questions. I'm signing out, getting the comments, and do the rest.